Hello guys, I'm Sheikh. Welcome to my channel Sheikh Rides. I'll be posting a lot of content in my channel that will be more about two-wheeler reviews, okay, for the upcoming vehicles and for the current vehicles. So today I'm going to be discussing about this vehicle Interceptor 650. I'll be giving you a long-term review of my experience, okay, so that you will have a better understanding of what is good and what is bad in this bike. Okay, let's go. Let's start with pros first. I'll be talking about 4 points which I liked in this bike that I feel they're absolutely good. Okay, then I'll come to cons later, or I can say which can be improved in this bike. Okay, to start with, it will be engine. I think that's the highlight of this vehicle. It's heart of this vehicle. So I will not go in depth of technical specifications, but I would like to say that this is a 650 engine, twin cylinder, okay, which generates 47 HP of power at 7250 RPM. It also generates 53 Newton meter of torque at 5150 RPM. So if you can see that the torque kicks in very early. So the company claims that 80% of the torque kicks in within 3000 of RPM, right? So that will be very helpful in the cities. You don't have to change gears every now and then. So that's about the engine. It also has a six-speed gearbox, and it also has a slipper clutch for downshifting. That is very practical, to be honest. That's about the engine. Moreover, second, I would say about the price. I think no other company has done this great pricing what Royal Enfield has done for this particular bike. 3-point change, 3.5, you are getting a very beautiful looking bike with twin cylinder. I think that's an amazing job what Royal Enfield has done. You can go for, you also have Triumph and Harley Davidson basic models. They roughly generate more power compared to this, a little more power, but they are priced at 6 lakhs, 6.5 lakhs. This is half of that. You can imagine it, how well they have priced this. So which will also makes affordable for the masses. That's why this bikes is doing in great numbers in sales. So big thumbs up to the pricing for Royal Enfield. Okay, that is secondary. The third, we will move out to the brakes. Okay, I think brakes are by Bray, which is a subsidiary of Brembo. They do the same job. They have a very good bite, and it gives a lot of feedback when you're driving. That I felt. Till now I have not changed anything. It's just been one servicing and I have not changed. I've ridden almost 7,500 kilometers and till now no issues whatsoever. The braking parts are good. I have never tested it. What is the within what distance we could stop from 60 to 0. I have not done that, but I can say that they are very good brakes. Yeah, coming to tires, they are from Pirelli, and they have done a great job, and they have provided tires dedicatedly for these models. And in front you have 110 by 70, and back you have I think 130 by 70, I guess, roughly. Yeah, I think it's 130 by 70. Yeah. So they have a very good quality of tires. Even in the corners they help you a lot. Yeah. So those are my pros of this vehicle, things I liked about it. And coming to the other part of it, to talk about which I did not like it much, and they can be improved to make it good. So to start with it, we have seat. So the stock seat is not good at all. So Royal Enfield has done this basically to I think to reduce the price or keep the price in check, but the seat has to be changed. You can go for the aftermarket seats, customized seats, or you can go with the tourer seats. I have gone with the tourer seats because I did not want to go for customized seats, which might change the look of the vehicle when you put it. because this will go with this design goes well with this Interceptor 650. This is a GT650's seat, tourer seat basically, so that's why I've installed it. Into half an hour into the ride, you know, you will feel the pain in your bum. That is one thing, so that is, this has to be changed. Secondary, I think the second one is about the foot pegs. Okay, the both front and the back foot pegs, they are kindly oddly placed because of the upswing exhaust. These are placed little up, which will be difficult for the pillion rider, and even this front ones, they are placed in odd positions, because when you try to move your vehicle manually, I'll show you. So when you try to move your vehicle manually, this you end up hitting this. So even though they're flexible going back like this, you can see here, but you know, sometimes like this you'll get hurt. You'll get used to it maybe in a month or two, but that is one thing which I didn't like. In market you get extenders which can be moved, this can be positioned here, but I didn't do it, so I'm okay with this. I didn't want to change much of it. Okay, the third part would be the lights. Lights are average, I can say, because they do not, in the city they are okay, because in city you have a default street light, so in city they are okay with this light. But when you go in highways in the nights, then yeah, you will face little problem. You will not get much of light in the night times, so you can go for the aftermarket LED lights. That is one thing. The fourth point I would like to say is about the grab rails. So the stock grab rail of the Interceptor 650 and GT 650, I feel they are oddly designed, or they are oddly placed, because the seat of this Interceptor 650 and GT 650 are designed in such a way that they have a slope here. So when a pillion rider sits with the stock seat, they do not give any better support. Okay, so you can either go with the aftermarket seat rest, a backrest. What I did is I bought this particular thing and I did a little modification with the stock grab rail, and I put this leather cover on this, so that it gives a soft support. This is one thing I have done. That's it. This is what I thought that could be better. So I feel for the price what you're getting, I think these are the minor flaws, I think, which can be neglected and cannot be complained about it. So that is one thing. The other thing I would like to say is about the weight of this vehicle. It is both good and also kind of, I think, both pros and cons, because in the city, I mean, when you're trying to move your vehicle manually, you will feel the weight, that is for sure. But when you start riding this bike, you will not feel it. It's very agile and nimble. Okay, and in the highways, because of its weight, it gets planted on the road. You will not feel much of shaken by the wind, so that will be, you'll be very confident when riding even in the high speeds. Coming to high speeds, you can make the high speeds up to 160 km per hour. You can also go beyond that, but again, I advise you not to go. So these vehicles are not meant for the high performance vehicle, so they basically cruiser vehicles. You can cruise in the speed of 110 and 120 all day, so there'll be no issues whatsoever. So that's it guys. This is my experience with this vehicle, a long-term review. I have summed up both pros and cons. If I missed anything, do comment, and if you've liked this video, do subscribe, and you can also press the bell icon for the latest updates. And thanks for watching. I am Sheikh and I'm signing off. Bye.